Of course, the state of Wisconsin had a budget surplus when Walker was elected. He immediately cut corporate taxes, and then they have a budget deficit. And the whole purpose of this is to do what the right wing calls starve the beast. The beast meaning the government that provides us with services, that takes care of people when they're sick, that teaches our children. Sing along with us, billionaires. Goodbye to college grants and NPR. Starve the government, isn't it clear? It has no money to pay union workers. This land is owned by billionaires. We owe Supreme Court, citizens united. We finance. You cannot stop it. You laughed at John Birch, who's got the last. This land is owned by billionaires. We own the airwaves by advertisements. Don't dare to cross us. We wiped out.
Why are you fighting for this union? What is it that keeps you in this? I'll tell you, it is very personal. I grew up, my father was an undocumented immigrant. He was deported 6 to 8 times. And I remember him telling me when I was a little girl how he almost starved and died in the desert because they hadn't brought enough water. And he was 12 and they were hallucinating when the migra found him. And eventually, after the 12th or 13th time, he came here, married my mother, and when my grandfather got my father a laborer's card, his life changed. And when he got a Teamster's card and became a truck driver, our whole family's life changed. We went right to the middle class. And that's not a huge amount of money, but we could at least buy a house in California. My brother and I had health care. We went to college. I went to law school. And this was on the salary of a truck driver and a school teacher, a kindergarten teacher, okay? I remember what that's like, and I want everybody to have that chance and that choice, because not only will those folks, all the kids coming up now whose parents are working 2 or 3 jobs, have no health care, never see their kids because they have to live with 4 or 5 other families, those people will all benefit, and our community will be stronger because we have a middle class, and we have middle class, good union jobs. So keep up the fight. Thank you so much, and we are going to win this.
Hi, my name is Denny Rossetti. I'm the Executive Director of Sonoma County Conservation Action, and I wanted to ask how many folks here are either connected to, have a family member, or in a labor union? All right. How many people here consider themselves to be a friend of the environment? All right. We're the same people. That's what I'm here to tell you. We need to stand together to support our public workers who are keeping our parks open, who are maintaining our parks, who are stewarding the land for us, and who are teaching our children. It's very critical that we stand together to do this. It's very exciting and inspiring to see all these people here today in the rain and the weather. Blessings from above. Every time I get sick of rain, I think, blessings, yes! My corn and my tomatoes are going to be amazing later this year. I'm also here to tell you that dirty politicians are the same politicians that want to attack public workers. They're the same politicians that want to pollute the air and water we drink and breathe. These cuts at government are unfair, they're unjust, and they should not be happening. What we really should be looking at is corporate welfare, is CEOs who are making millions of dollars at the top, who aren't putting that money back into the system, and they're taking it from the middle. We can't allow that to continue. The environment is best served by a public that is informed, educated, and is able to access the land, and that's what our public workers are doing for us. Thank you. The EPA, the Fish and Wildlife Service, these are all public entities that are protecting the land, they're protecting the wildlife that lives on the land, and they're keeping the nature that we love and know safe and accessible to us. So I'm here to tell you that attacking public workers is attacking the environment, and I know that if we stand together, we are stronger, and we must stand together. Thank you.
So, the only thing I want to say to folks tonight, to this crowd assembled here, is that the time for empty words and talking is over. That period is past us now. We can say goodbye to it. It's now time to organize and to rise up and take action. Okay? We know that. We have been swindled. We have been seen the greatest theft of working of wealth from working people like myself and many of you, and it's gone straight to the rich of this country. Perpetrated by the rich people of this country in collaboration with the majority of politicians who call themselves our elected representatives. And I hate to tell some folks out there, but both parties are guilty of that. Both parties. And we have to hold everybody accountable. But what are we going to do about it right here in Sonoma County, in our community? These banks, these people, these rich people don't exist in a far-off land necessarily. Lots of them exist right here in Sonoma County. They have names and they have addresses, they have workplaces, they have homes, And we need to get our money back from these people. They've taken a lot from us. They've taken our homes, our jobs, the land that we stand on. We can't let them take our spirits and our values. We can't stand on the sidewalks anymore, on the sidelines of history. It's time to put our feet on the pavement. It's time to put our money where our mouth is. Get organized, rise up, and take back the wealth and the world that they have stolen from us. Can we do that, Santa Rosa?
And one of the great tragedies, the loss of the union movement and the decline of the union movement over the last half century, is the fact that we are the last voice for working people in this country. The Press Democrat, which ignores labor other than to criticize, as they did today. They laid off 90 teachers in Sonoma County today, and the Press Democrat editorial says, well, God, we hope we don't hire them back by seniority. Okay, we need to go because we have all these failed methods to hire them back instead, because somehow if you've been a teacher for 10 years, you're no good anymore. So should we hire younger, cheaper ones? That's labor news. Okay, there's a business section in every newspaper. There are business stations on television. There are business stations on the radio. There are no labor stations. There are no labor sections in newspapers. And years ago there were. Business sections were always bigger, but there were entire sections dedicated to working people. And the labor movement is all that is left to keep the message of working people going. It's wonderful to praise public service workers. I've been a public service worker. I did my first contract for SEIU in 1975 as a negotiator. I've been doing this a long time. But let's not forget about the private workers and what they do. As Lisa pointed out, her father made it as a laborer and a truck driver. One of the things that private workers get through the unions is they go from neophytes to apprentices to journeymen, and once they get to be journeymen, then they are members of the middle class. And it is the private unions that train the poor to become productive members of society. So as we talk about the union movement, And as we think about the people in Wisconsin that are public employees, let's not forget the working people from the private sector who really gave us the union movement, and we in the public sector piggybacked onto that. And right now we are the remnants, but we owe them a lot. They're the ones who got us the 40-hour week. They're the ones who got us workers' comp. They're the ones who got us unemployment. And I just want to finish with one last thought. One of the reasons that this happened in Wisconsin was that progressive people and working people stopped paying attention. Okay, 45 million people who voted in 2008 did not vote in 2010. And that's why you flip a state. And when you flip a state, you've got to get it back. But wouldn't it have been better if we hadn't let it happen and now we have to get it back? We will get it back. There's no question. Maybe not soon, but we will get back on top, but it's going to take a lot more. So those of us who still have it, we have an obligation to keep it. And we also have an obligation to reach out to those who've lost it or those who never had it. We need to work together, not to think of ourselves as public employees or private employees or union workers or non-union workers. We're all workers together, and we're the ones who built society and moved it on to civilization. Thank you.